going.
All set?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I will call to order the Albany School Board meeting of December 9th, 2025 at the Albany Town Hall. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of 10/14/25?
So moved.
So moved. All those in
Second.
second? All those in favor of approving the minutes for October 14th, 2025? Comments, public comments? No? Welcome, member of the public. I'm glad we're a member of the public. Any board member comments? I don't have any. Signing of checks and manifests, I did get some here. Are these in addition to the ones that were sent?
Those ones,
I did get a copy. Did you get the copy?
yeah, so you got the pre-authorization.
Yeah.
This is the final
Okay.
version because we had got 2 of the 3 board approvals, so she printed the checks.
Good job.
It's not anything additional. It's just-
No, it's just what was in the emails.
Just what was in the emails?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is okay to sign these? All right.
Thank you. Here, one back.
Looking for,
Thanks.
you know, I thought there's so many times where I didn't bring the pen. I had to beg off somebody. All right, that's all I think I got.
Great.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right, with that done, we'll move on to the business affairs. And I believe the first item is the Eldridge Transportation Contract received for approval. Did everyone get a chance to look at that? I know that, I think we agreed for a 5-year
Yeah, so
contract.
yeah, so I touched base with Tim, and he sent a proposal. Essentially, it's an identical contract to the one that was done previously for 5 years. On the last page, it has the cost per mile increase. So I did a calculation of like what those numbers based on the current route actually look like. So, I mean, the year-to-year increase, year 1 would be, it's 11.86%. Year 2 is 10.03. Year 3 is 7.9. year 4 is 6.15, and year 5 is 8.41. When I take it by the miles per day and the number of days in the year, it ends up being a total increase over the 5 years, over this year's cost of almost $63,000.
At the end of the, after the end of the
Yeah.
contract.
Obviously, costs aren't getting any cheaper, but I don't know if that changes thoughts about duration.
I don't know, Curtis, do you have any thoughts on that? You probably a little more, I mean, about what the fuel
Likely
costs
it's not
are
going
and
to get
stuff.
cheaper, but
Is there a stipulation in the contract if there's some kind of giant spike in fuel prices? I don't know if I saw that, because I think that happened one time, and we had to do something because it was, the gas prices went up so much, and you would have been losing money if he,
yeah,
Continue to do that.
number 14, the district agrees in the event fuel costs
Oh,
exceed
okay,
$5
yep,
per
there it is.
gallon, they'll provide initial payment after receipts.
What is the baseline dollar a gallon? Does he put something in
He
there?
did not put that, I can inquire.
so if it goes over $5 a gallon, then we'll have to,
We got bigger problems if it goes over $5 a gallon.
yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with 11%. I mean, it's pretty normal. If you figure like the cost of equipment, the labor.
I mean, I know what contract we had with the, what was it, prior to this one, I can't believe it's been over 5 years, but, and just the quality of the transportation itself it's been a huge improvement over what we had before, and I think we should just act on it myself, but I don't have to, the last thing we want to do is scramble around for buses at some point, so,
Yeah, it's like $1,000 a month, right?
for,
I mean, it would be 60. Yeah, it's like $1,000 a month more this round in this contract than where we were 5 years ago. So 20 days,
so it
$50
says,
a day.
it says Eldridge Transportation Contract received for approval, is that something we can approve tonight?
Yep, so I do have a contract that if you'd like to sign it, then we can.
Do we need to make a motion to approve this contract? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Eldridge contract for,
Are you making the motion, or you're asking us to make it?
I will ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to
Okay.
approve it.
I'll second, yep, you'll second, okay. All those in favor of approving this proposed contract with Eldridge? Okay, it's unanimous.
They do a good job.
They really do, yeah.
In this-
He's great to work with.
I was just gonna say, it's so nice.
I think,
Besides calling me at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, but see, then I call him, so thank you for that. But, yeah, they're great to work with, and they know your kids
Yeah.
so well, and we have, yeah.
They know the weather.
yeah, and I think he'll be around. I mean, I think the last problem with the previous bus person was that they were basically going to be retiring after their system, so there really wasn't, and then all of a sudden he did, so I think that's what. Okey doke, all right, so that's done, so you'll have a copy of that for us to sign?
Yep, so
or-
I have one here.
I don't know if is this the same one that was on the,
Yeah, it's the same thing, so there's just one signature line, so board chair.
that's it, you
Yeah.
only need the one signature? Okay.
Yep,
I
and
have a copy of it here.
then I'll get, well, actually, so if you have a copy right there too, I'll have you sign both, and then I'll have him come in, and when he grabs his check, I'll have him sign 2 copies, give him a live copy, give you a live
Okay,
one.
great. All right, that takes care of
Retain
A. Now we have budget status report for 2025-26, back up to follow.
Yep, so that was in the additional email that went out. So this is just kind of the snapshot of where we currently are. We have, I think, everything encumbered other than the transfer to the trust funds, which I'll plan on doing for January. I'll need to communicate that with the treasurer, which that's $15,000. But right now, it's looking like we're going to be over about $23,000, mostly due to special ed tuition. If you, on the first page, about halfway down, there's special ed tuition, which is overspent by about $84,000. That was an unanticipated placement at a district.
This is the adopted budget?
This is the adopted budget that we're currently working in.
And so the special ed, okay, I see 85,988?
Yep.
Okay, so 86,000.
So we're tracking that and hoping that, you know,
So total expenditures for this for this budget is 1,776,696?
yeah, that's the total
Okay.
appropriation, or total local budget.
Okay, and then the draft budget is the second,
Yep.
and that is, let's see,
So just one thing about the current
Mhm.
budget, we'll just continue to monitor this. You know, things can change with placements or special education in general fairly quickly. To be able to provide a recommendation as to whether or not we need to dip into your trust fund, or if we can just continue on and things even themselves out. So we'll just keep watching it for now, and touch base on it each time we meet.
any other comments or concerns? Okay, so then review the draft budget. It looks like, so the total expenditures in the draft budget are $2,017,000, so that is,
Yeah.
so it's up 200 plus thousand.
Yep, and the lion's share of that is between middle school and high school tuition, which are lines 2 and 3. This is the first year on the new elementary contract with the changing of the equalized value in ADM percentages. And then, so that's about 164,000, and then special ed tuition, line 12, is up about 95,000, which is essentially the $250,000 that it's up. I did include the year one cost for transportation, so that's what's reflected on here.
With the new Eldridge budget.
Based on the,
Yep.
new hourly rate, or per mile rate.
I don't see any real eye-opening things that are jumping out at me, but.
One thing we had talked about earlier, wanted to get your take on it, is in your current budget, you increased your legal line quite significantly because we were anticipating needing legal services for assistance with the tuition contract negotiations. So that's potentially a line that you could decrease,
Yeah.
because I don't believe I don't believe we will have expended that at the end of this year. We just really had no way of knowing just how much we were going to need for support.
Where is that
It's
line?
line 18 on the proposed.
On the proposed, okay. And you just kept the same amount from last year as to this year on the
You moved it to
proposed?
10.
On this version,
Yeah, you have 10,500 in there, but you could,
it was 3,500 3 years ago.
Could move it back to the 3,500.
that would be, I think, our recommendation.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, we did have, I don't know if we've been billed yet, but we did have a small amount of legal services for the last, from Barbara Laughlin, but,
Yeah, I still don't think you're gonna.
yeah.
Company.
I can't
No,
imagine.
I hope not. Her hourly rate would be going up quite a bit if that was the case.
Yeah, so
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's safe.
Good thought.
Any other comments on the budget?
Do we foresee that the special ed is going to stay? I know sometimes that jumps around. Do we foresee that being an Albany cost for the next season, for the next year?
This particular
Yes.
expense that we're talking about?
Yes.
It's so hard to know. I don't know.
Because a lot of time people move around, you know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, or services change or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
I'm
right.
not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a combination. Some of it's out-of-district placement, and some of it's also one-to-one aids.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Which also changes,
From year to year?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Review warrant articles. I did not see I didn't see an attachment for the warrant articles.
So it was in with the initial email.
Was it? I did not print that out, so I'm not, I didn't.
If you want to share.
Yeah, you can have mine.
Thank you. Did you guys get it?
I saw it, but I
You
didn't
did see?
print it out.
Okay.
I can,
We got two. Did you get a copy, Curtis, of the warrant?
I didn't see it, but that's okay. It's
Um,
probably pretty straightforward.
So, let's see. Wasn't there something that we want, weren't we considering adding, weren't we considering adding something to the trust fund? This particular one, I know it's, what was the reasoning?
Well, if we want to do another trust fund, which is going to be something, we're going to obviously be some discussion at town meeting, I'm sure, with
Right,
some
right.
of our tax rate changes, people are going to be a little more sensitive to it. But we were going to do, not only have a special education trust fund, we were going to do just a normal, like we do for highway or for other departments within the town. You know, a lot
So
of-
not specifically for the school?
well, specifically for this school, but it'd be more of like a general fund, I would call it, right?
Yeah, well, so it'd be for, I think what we talked about was like regular education, so that in some of the years with the changes, it could help mitigate some of those ups and downs. too.
Being we're jumping into a 5-year agreement, which is a much shorter agreement, so at the end of 5 years, where are we gonna be? If we save whatever, we at least will have something to offset if there's a substantial increase that first year or two. That was the thought. I mean, we do the highway, like we do a capital highway reserve fund.
Right.
We do, I mean, the cemeteries have a reserve fund, everything does, so.
Is that something that, would the board be interested in putting that onto the warrant? Or do we just want to do that at the town meeting?
I mean, you have to
But
put
school
it
meeting.
on the warrant to even be able to talk about it at the town meeting, so.
Right.
I mean, we can talk, we gotta get it on to be a warrant article. If they wanna shoot it down, then they can shoot it down at the town meeting, but we gotta have it on there. If not, it gets complicated, and it's just much easier to have it on there. to
Okay, so we
start.
should probably add that in.
So a general tuition trust fund with the school board as agents to expend.
Yes.
which is typically how your trust funds
We'll probably
work.
have to come up with a number.
Yeah. So
You know, I don't
that's, so I just would put $50,000 in there and see what we, I mean, if it becomes an issue at the town meeting, we're gonna have the right to adjust it, lower it, raise
Yep.
it,
Yeah.
argue about it.
Okay, so will we need a motion to add that to the, okay, so you're going to make a motion?
Yes.
You okay?
So moved, sorry.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor of adding an Article 9 to create a education trust fund in the amount of $50,000 to add to the warrant? I don't believe that's on there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on there, right? Okay.
Okay, so all those in favor? Okay, we'll add that.
And I think that that's especially important in this new landscape of open enrollment that's coming down from the state level, which basically establishes schools as open enrollment schools where kids can select to go wherever they want, regardless of a tuition agreement, at 80% of the sending district's per pupil cost. Nobody's answered the question, what about Albany, who doesn't have a per pupil cost? Could you tuition all your kids to Conway? That's not been established, like, through legislation yet, but I believe it's coming down the pike. And so to mitigate some of those additional fluctuations that could come from those new laws that are going into effect or kind of in flux right now, it's a smart move, not only because of your contract being 5 years with Conway, but because of just the way the landscape is shifting in the state.
Sounds good.
Any other thoughts on the warrant, with the proposed warrant?
Do we have to come up with sums for those other, for like the special ed or?
So that's kind of the new budget, and then we just gotta put a dollar amount on the,
Tuition,
the special education.
what did they add last year?
15.
Yeah, and I
We
think it was a good
expended-
thing we put it in there because of the
expended
expenses that
40.
came.
How
up.
much did we put in
49.
last year?
15,000, I believe, was last year's
I
number.
can't get online to see.
I would-
Do you recall what the trust fund balance currently is? About?
It's probably around 125.
Okay.
I would propose putting the same amount as we did last year. I don't think we need to increase it at this point, but I don't want to decrease it. Unless
I
we-
don't think 15 is enough, to be honest with you. But- So, you know, and I know everybody's gonna fit about it, but, you know, our education stuff is just gonna be going crazy here, and Albany is not in a great spot as far as just the funds to deal with it, because we can fluctuate so much.
I mean, this is specifically for special ed.
I understand,
Yeah.
but look what it's going on right now.
Right, yeah, and one placement for the duration of a year could be $150,000 to $400,000 a year for one student, and we have no way of knowing who might come and go. So, and we think there's 129, I think that's.
129, is that including what the last,
It's not including what could be taken out
No,
this year in terms
yeah.
of your deficit that you're running right now.
right. So the 125 isn't included for this fiscal year, for the total of this fiscal year? It doesn't include what was just dispersed?
So the next month, I'll check, and we'll try and get that 15,000 out, so then it'd be about 140.
Okay, so what would, what would be the recommendation for a amount? Gotta come up with something.
30 would be my opinion.
Okay, I guess,
But I mean, you know, it's gonna, we're gonna have to talk about it
Yeah.
at town meeting, I mean, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, people's tax bills have just doubled, so, mine did, so, you know. you know, it's gonna be a discussion, but if we, you know, we can put the real numbers to the paper, and if people choose to not wanna support it, or what we think might be real, then that's their choice, and then we'll just have to deal with it when that time comes. But I don't wanna put a BS number out there, and then, you know, we get two kids that are that have extra help or out of district, and then all of a sudden, we're having a special town meeting to deal with the funding measure, and it's just.
That's what happens if we can't pay
Yeah,
them.
we'd have to, I mean, the selectmen can do some things, but when you get to this type of money, it gets a little more complicated, so my suggestion would be, I mean, another $15,000 on top of it, the whole scope of the tax rate per 100 is pretty minimal, so let's try it. If they don't want to do it at town meeting, people actually show up and talk about it, and then we'll change it. You know, that's my opinion, but that's just me, so you guys, I'll support, you know, if you
Yeah, I
guys
mean,
say that's craziness, then.
I think there was a year we zeroed it out, which I think we kind of rolled the dice on that one, but we didn't have any huge expenditures. We got lucky, I guess. I mean, if that seems to be a reasonable thing, that, like you said, it could be amended at the town meeting. I don't love the fact that we have to do it, but, okay, so do we need a motion for that? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
No, I'll make a motion to
Okay.
raise it from $15,000 to $30,000.
Seconded.
Second? Okay, all those in favor of raising the Special Education Trust Fund addition from $15,000 to $30,000 for this, to put on the warrant? All those in favor? Okay.
Good thing your road got paved.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so any other additions to the warrant that I can't think of anything else that we are going to have to put on there. Will we need to put a number onto or we're just going to use the number for the proposed budget for Article 5? Is that what we'll do?
No, it'd be 6.
No, for
For the tuition.
yeah, for the actual, I mean, that's to see if the school district raise and appropriate the sum of, is it 2,100,000?
Yeah, once you finalize this.
Yeah.
And move it to your hearing, then.
That number will be, that will be the
will go.
number, all right.
But you will need to add an article about your high school tuition, high school, middle school tuition contracts, once that's been established. That will be separate items.
We don't have much time.
No.
No, and that, I was going to bring that up under new business or something, because we do have a negotiating meeting scheduled for Thursday. I can't make it, you can't make it, so that will either have to be,
What more do we have to talk about?
well, that was my other question, what else?
Are we done with what we're talking about now? Or do
What we
just jump-
what we left off was I had forwarded to Mike and I think Amy got a copy of it, of what Barbara her concerns or observations of the contract. There was a couple that she had mentioned in there. One was about a double billing situation, I think, and so she wanted a little more clarification about that. And so that's where we're at right now. As far, we haven't heard anything back from Conway yet, but other than that, I don't think that there's any outstanding points to that contract.
So in other words, you don't feel, if those changes are able to be made without getting into the details.
I don't
of
see why it would be
negotiations
necessary to
in public,
have another meeting with it. I mean, what are we going to talk about?
There's not a need to meet. So how about I take Barbara's feedback? Mike and I will make some
Answer.
edits that address those and get it back to you for review.
Yeah, give us a document that Conway wants us to sign so we can review it and vote and sign it if we feel it's what we need to do.
Okay.
But I don't think talking about it anymore.
I don't see the point of having a whole other meeting about it. I personally don't, but.
I don't either, it's a waste of time.
Okay.
Okay.
I know Conway likes meetings, but
We are like, we're with you,
I'm
Paul.
I just get it, you know.
So we'll make the edits, get it to Conway,
Okay,
and then have them
perfect.
review it.
And then
get
we'll
back
have
to you
to,
guys.
we can basically just.
You know, and Amy, like, so you know how it works, so like, we gotta get it all printed, so it,
Yeah, and Barbara will establish or we have DRA
Yeah.
language
Yeah.
templates that we use for the actual language of the warrant. The only question that you might need to consider, and you don't have to decide tonight, is whether or not you want the voters to approve the contents of the contract, or if you want the voters to approve authorizing you to engage in a
What
contract.
did we do with the K-6?
Yeah, you had the voters authorized to allow you to engage in the contract. You didn't actually put forth the terms of the contract to the voter, and you can do it either way,
you have to do it one way or the other.
one way or the
right?
other.
I would
Yeah.
say do it the same as we did with
You
K-6.
just do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like just,
Kristen, you
That
agree?
makes sense, yeah.
If you wanna make the final decision, run for school board.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You need like 5 votes, and
Yeah.
you got it, baby.
And it's a well sought out position, right guys?
You know, I mean, yes,
Right.
but I think we got some.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
plenty of
why would it be that
Yeah.
significant difference? Okay. Okay, next item, superintendent's report, principal's report.
I don't have much other than I included the monthly reports that go to Conway from each of the buildings, just to give you the highlights of what's happening in our schools. Yeah, we're working on the CEA teacher negotiation contract. All the tuition contract meetings are taking a bunch of time, as you can imagine. But that's it.
Okay.
Snow tomorrow?
Get my snow blower out, I know that. Okay,
Is-
set date and time for next meeting, which would be Tuesday, February 10th, at 5:30. This is a budget hearing meeting, so this one, budget hearing. Okay, so this is the budget hearing. This is in addition to the school board meeting, it's the budget meeting? Is that what that's saying?
Yeah, and unless we want to do a meeting in January, then we'll need to move this budget to the hearing.
I would prefer to just have it in one meeting. I don't know why we would need 2 separate meetings, but
Okay.
if that's doable.
So we'll make the adjustments that we talked about tonight.
We'll reduce that legal line.
Reduce the legal line, SAU share is accurate.
Yep.
And the education, increase the education, would that be part of the budget?
That's on the warrant.
Oh, it's on the warrant, all right.
That will go also
Okay.
to your hearing.
All right. So the next, is everyone okay with Tuesday, February 10th at 5:30 as the next hearing? Is that okay with the board?
It's great.
Critical dates, budget season, filing dates for office, January 21st to 22nd. What offices do we have coming up that are expiring? I think I'm here another year, I think.
Curtis, I think it's you.
Carl Curtis.
Um,
I know.
Well, actually, it's
I don't think
both. It's both Curtis and Kristen, right? Because you weren't appointed. Yes, she was.
I didn't run, but I had 2 write-in votes or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
then, no, you won it fair and square.
Oh, then that's fair and
Yeah.
square.
You
Yeah.
won.
If you were elected, you were elected.
So, yeah, you were elected, you're good. So it's just Curtis and Kathy Carrier.
Which is a one-year
It's a
position.
It's a
one
one-year
year.
position anyway,
And
and
that's
your
for-
moderator is also the 1 year.
Yeah,
And-
that's usually the same as the
Yeah,
towns,
and
usually.
then likely next year, for the reporting of the 27 budget, we'll have to seek a new auditor, because our current auditor is retiring after he does the fiscal year 26 audits.
And the school meeting is going to be set, which I've never seen it any other way, for Tuesday, March 10th, which is the same day as town meeting. Usually the school meeting is first. Okay. All right, with that done, public concerns, comments, anybody from the public? I'm sorry?
I'll introduce myself since I'm Steph.
Oh, sure.
I'm Steph McGrath. I live on Ridgeview Drive.
What's your first name?
Steph. And my girlfriend. Thanks for talking to me. And I'm just trying to learn a little bit more about kind of how Albany relates to the other school systems. We moved here the larger school system. We moved here about 2 years ago and are going to be considering schools for these children eventually. And just interested in learning more.
Awesome.
I've obviously been hearing about the high school tuition contracts and some of the other towns, and it sounds like they're all close to being finished with that whole process. I was curious if Albany was ever considering talking to Harvard Academy, if that was something that was not on the agenda.
We did look into it. We had what was called an options committee that was established several years ago. Prior to this, we knew this was coming. And we looked at several different options in that committee. We looked at Freiburg Academy, we toured Freiburg Academy, we looked at the elementary school over there, we looked at Freedom Elementary, we looked at Madison. So we actually did some research on that. Nothing was ever really, we didn't come to a consensus about whether we should propose a contract with any of them at that point. I know for myself, looking at it, my kids have gone through the school system. I still have kids in the school system, and considering, I think, from my perspective, considering geographically where Albany is, I thought Conway was the best choice as far for parents and for logistically. It just seemed to it made a lot of sense for me growing up and doing with my kids, but nothing to take away from any of those other schools. They seem to be fine schools, but it just, that was kind of just my own opinion. And I think there was also something to be said about trying to keep the kids. Albany has a long history with Conway. God, it goes back a long, long time. And so to me, it would be quite disruptive, but that was just my own thoughts of it. But we did do our due diligence and research those options. It wasn't, nothing really stood out that was like, oh my God, this would be the best thing to do at that stage. So that was all my info. So that's where we're at.
And I guess just with that, so it looks like it's the 8 years with, sorry, I can't find it now.
Yes.
With the elementary.
Yep.
And then are you able to say the length of the contract for the high school that's being negotiated now, or is that something that will be released later?
That will be released later, yeah, until the two sides come to an agreement, it's still considered non-public, but all of that will go before
That was something that was being.
yeah, I think certainly they're looking for a shorter term contract than the older was 20 years, like that's just silly.
Okay.
So it's a much shorter contract, yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely motivation for us to, I mean, my kids all went to Conway. I went to Conway. And then through in the Kennett, the high school, middle school system, I mean, there was motivation to try to keep the valley intact with the schools, just to have a sense of community and whatnot. And so I think that was a lot of the motivation with Albany. And then just the pure logistics of it made it difficult for us to try to realistically expand, especially on the high school side. It probably would have been easier to go to Madison easier than to go to Madison, say, than a Freiburg or main school system as far as elementary school. But Conway Elementary, it's, I've personally had a great experience with it, with the kids and whatnot. So, I think a lot of it's what you make of it. You can find excuses and all that for everything. So, there's a lot of good teachers and a lot of good people involved. So that's why I was for doing what we were doing.
Another point too is we did not have any input from any parents about them wanting to go to another school.
Right.
No one had and I've been on this board quite a number of years, and no one has ever expressed any, never approached me about, gosh, do you think we could send them to Freiburg or send them to Madison? No one has ever
approach me in that regard, so.
Yeah.
I'm new to the board, but one of the other benefits, I think, of the high school hearing is the technical center. And if students went to Freiburg, my understanding is that they'd have to go all the way to Naples to go to a technical center that doesn't have all the resources that the one we have here in town has. So,
So that's pretty much where we're at.
I appreciate the background information. I can certainly appreciate wanting to preserve neighborhood schools and keeping families attending schools that are close to their home and where their peers are living nearby. And like in New Hampshire now, maybe new learning slowly, but kind of what you were speaking to with the maybe new legislation coming in about placement and open enrollment, and then also universal vouchers, how that will affect where people are and how much weight towns have to counteract that when parents have so much choice and if offering choice within the, I don't know, it's a change, it's a lot to consider and a lot of things, so you're working on it.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. If you ever want to visit any of the schools, hop on by.
Yeah, I would love to. I did get to see kind of briefly, so I went through the tech center. Yeah, I really impressed. Very cool. Definitely not something that we had within our high school, especially if you go to a different lecture or a different school or go to that.
Pretty deep.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good people. Yeah, so. And you can run for school board whenever you like. We'd love to have you. There's one seat up in March. Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'll even hold the baby. Gladly.
And so.
No offense, Curtis. Thanks, you.
No, it's a three-person board.
It's a
Yes.
three-person board, yes.
And you'll meet again in February.
Yes, next meeting is scheduled for February 10th, 5:30, right here.
Well, it was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Meet
you.
you.
for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments. No non-public this time around, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
so, or, yeah.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Thank you.
she's
Second.
second. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's a wrap.
I'll just get you to sign
Oh,
the
yeah.
Eldridge.
And the other one? You
Yep.
want two of them?